Hey family, Happy New Year! Here's Relatively Related's resolutions for the year. First, our show's gonna be a little trimmer. It's gonna be about 20 minutes or less.
And second of all, where the podcast episodes are going to be released every other week. So not every Wednesday, but every other Wednesday.
But don't worry, because on the Wednesdays that we're not posting anything, we will be interacting with you directly starting next week, January 20th. Right, guys?
Yes.
Want to make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Yes.
Yeah, but guys, most importantly, probably the most important thing that you're going to take away from here is that we're still sexy.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That never changed.
So be sure to join us and along the journey with all these exciting new changes. Hope to see you. Today we're going to get caught up on the new year. We're going to do a recap of the year. So to start off, I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I want you to answer without mentioning the word COVID, because we all know that's the elephant in the room from 2020.
Okay. All right.
We know that's the thing that everyone talks about when they talk about 2020. So I want you guys to tell me one of your highlights and one of your lowlights from 2020, but it can't be related to COVID. So it's non-COVID related, because the interesting thing is to our listeners, in the next coming week, we're going to talk about coming out of COVID, coming out with the vaccine and stuff like that. So we don't want to talk about any COVID today.
Right.
We're just going to reflect back on 2020. So who wants to give it a stab first?
I think I'll go first. One highlight of 2020 was, starting the podcast.
Oh yeah,
And, yeah, that was a big one.
yeah, that was kind
It was
of
minor,
yeah.
but
it was good. It was
like
good.
a minor achievement.
Yeah.
And then I guess one of the lows, would be like I lost a lot of friends and like I lost a lot of people that I
that's
thought.
sad.
Yeah, it was weird, but I ended up losing a few people from this whole no,
it's fine. The
just
situation
from like
we
the
were-
situation that we're in, like being indoors and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and I guess I lost touch with a lot of people, but it's all good.
Yeah, I guess if someone is really like a good friend, no matter what the circumstances
Yeah.
happening around, you should still be able to connect
Yeah.
with them. We're gonna go to Terry, and then we're gonna come to Trudy. So Terry,
Yeah.
what was one of your highlight and one of the lowlights for you for 2020?
Definitely one of my highlights. It happened close to the end of the year, but we had a new addition to my family.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yes.
true. That's very true.
That's
True.
definitely a highlight. We got a son, so I'm happy about that, and it's definitely a blessing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
highlight. A low light is, I guess, just being without a job for the first half of the year. I think that was definitely a low light for me. Not being financially able to provide the way I wanted to. So that's definitely a low light for me.
Okay. That's interesting. You kept it personal, and yeah, we hope the little man is doing well. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, because of the situation, we
Yeah.
haven't been able to see him as
Yeah,
much as
properly.
if
That's
there
true,
wasn't that
yeah.
situation going on in the world.
True.
That thing.
That thing. What about you, Trudy?
Highlight. I guess a highlight was just.
Oh, can I-
go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. A low light also. Now that because I guess I kept it way too personal. I guess a low light was definitely the death of Kobe Bryant. Like
Oh,
that
You took
still
that on
doesn't
from
sound.
go ahead.
Sorry, that still doesn't sound. It's so unreal for me because anytime you think about basketball, like all the basketball legends are still alive, right? Like
Yeah.
we have Jordan, Kareem. The fact that Kobe is gone is just
And he's so young.
at such a young age, and his daughter too. So that's definitely a low light also.
Yeah, that's a good one. Trudy, your turn now.
Um, I really
She's
was
kind of
trying
like
so hard to figure out what was my highlight.
it
I
was
guess
that tough of a year.
no, because you said you can't say like
Yeah.
COVID, right? Can you say offshoots of
Yeah, yeah,
COVID?
yeah. You
Oh,
can.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's fine then. So yeah, a highlight for me was I actually liked the lockdown kind of thing. The
Okay.
reason why I say that is because like Tari got to work from home for like a good portion of the year, and that was fun. Our son, he enjoyed that. Every now and then he could just run into the office, say hi, come back.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool, and it just kind of forced everyone to find creative ways to stay in touch. I actually like that, so that's a highlight to me. And a low light definitely would be more so the death of like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, like all of that that's related to the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
To me, that was definitely a low light in the sense of, all this injustice had to happen in our
Yeah.
world before people could actually realize that, hey, yeah, Black Lives Matter, right? So,
Exactly. And that's one of the ones I really that really stood out to me. The and I'm gonna actually flip it as from a it was a highlight for me, just seeing how people really rallied behind the cause.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And not just black people, but also allies and
Yeah.
stuff.
It was
like
across the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. You were seeing people in Germany, people
Yeah,
in
in
England,
Italy,
people
like-
in
Yeah.
Africa,
Yeah.
parts of Africa, and you're like, wow, this is big. Even here in Canada,
Right.
people in Toronto were like rallying for that. So that it was kind of it was a sad moment seeing the passing of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, but it was still it would be really low light if people didn't react and were just like,
Yeah.
we've come to sort of accept it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So just on that one though, what did you guys think? What were your emotions as the Black Lives Matter thing started? I know it was earlier in the year, and then in May, George Floyd kind of it lit a candle on everything. It sparked all the protests and everything. How were you feeling through that, like in 2020, as some young black people?
I think for me, the part that got me was, I don't have the dates right, but was it that Aubrey was first?
His was earlier.
His was like first or
think
so.
so, yeah.
Like obviously there are others who passed away and whatnot, but like when the news reported that, it was like, what? The man was just jogging and boom, like that. Then you hear George
So
Floyd.
sad.
It's like, what? The guy, the
9
police
minutes.
officer had his knee on the man's neck for like 9 minutes. Then boom, you hear Breonna Taylor. So I think the fact that it came so back to back to back, that's what really blew my mind in
Yeah.
that time period, and that's like where I was just like, oh my god, like what's going on with the world. So
Yeah.
it was a back-to-back succession of things that kind of got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was just really emotional because I remember when it happened. I like whenever I see those type of traumatic situations and stuff, I get really really quiet, and then like
Yeah.
I just like sort of collapse into myself. And then like when I'm doing that, I'm kind of healing at the same time. And then I ended up like writing this thing
wrote-
all
yeah.
in like one day, recorded it all in one day.
Wow.
And it was just like I needed to get that out because it's been so like I don't know, it's just such a regular thing that we see in our society, and it's just I just needed it. I needed it to stop, and I needed to vent, and
Yeah.
that was the best way for me to do that, just to like just close up and then release whatever I had inside. But yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, Troy. I like
Yeah.
that. It's cathartic writing,
Yeah.
or expressing yourself in different ways, and it was really traumatic for a lot of us as black people, and even some people who are not black. I know friends I talked to, they were just like, "This was."
I think
was
just for
tough to see."
humans in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
Like
human
if you
beings, yeah.
truly view yourself as like a human,
A decent
and
human.
a decent human,
That's
you
the
have
thing.
like
Yeah.
conscience and whatnot. It was really a blow just having these things happen back to back to back. And I think the part that really got me was it was 2020. You know what I'm
It wasn't
saying?
like
Like,
19
it wasn't
it wasn't
like
1920.
1920
Yeah.
or something
Yeah,
like
or
that.
like that time when they stormed the White House in like 18 something.
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't like
1814.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't like
that
that. You
time,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Terry, let me take one your view on that. One final thought on that. Like, what was your reaction going through the whole year with Black Lives Matter and so on?
Obviously, it was like a pretty emotional time because as a black person,
Hmm.
it feels like our life really doesn't matter, that we can just be shot innocently and stuff like that. So it was really emotionally draining when that happened. But I like the way that Chris Rock put it. Like,
You can say there's progress and all of this, but when you say it's progress, you're acting like what happened before wasn't crazy. You know what I mean? So, segregation. We've made a lot of progress, and there's no more segregation. Segregation's crazy. To think you're better than somebody and they can't eat with you and segregate. That's crazy. That's insane behavior. You know what I mean? So, just to think that on any level, it's like kind of insane. So, you can say black people have made progress, but to say black people have made progress would mean we deserve to be segregated. The reality is, white people got less crazy. See what I'm saying?
I got you.
Does that make sense?
Chris Rock, thank you for this, man.
I didn't suddenly, my father didn't suddenly deserve to eat with people because he earned it. The people that were denying him his rights got less crazy. And that's what's progressively has happened throughout the years. People are now getting less crazy about gay people. It's just like, people are crazy, man.
And it's all about hope as we go into the new year, right? New year, fresh start. We know we're not naive that like racism is not just gonna go away. Blacks are not gonna just be stopped getting killed by the cops. But at least going into the new year, it's good to reflect back and see, okay, what positive can we take, and as we go into 2021. So whenever New Year's happen, we know it's all about, there's a lot of resolutions, right? The most popular resolutions are all either more or less. So it's like, I want to read more, I want to save more, I want to exercise more, or I want to eat less, I want to procrastinate less, I want to watch TV less.
Right.
It's like more or less, right? So that keeps happening, and oftentimes by the time May or even earlier comes around, people
It's done.
drop their
Yeah, we're done. We're not doing it anymore.
So or even like March, April by that time. And last year,
By January 3rd, it's done. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And last year, by the time March, April rolled around, that's when the big elephant came in the room. That's when COVID really, yes, it was there before, but it really hit hard. We started having the lockdowns and so on. So my question is, like, we're kind of looking at this as 2020 one more time. So 2021, 2020 one more time, right? So in terms of a resolution, right? If you could go back at the start of last year, what's one thing you would do more of and one thing you would do less of? So for me, while you guys think about it, because it's like kind of tricky, I'll do mine, right? Okay. So I was thinking, knowing what I know now about how 2020 went, I would have traveled more early in the year.
That's true.
So like before March hits, I would have tried to at least go somewhere.
Man.
But then you'd be putting yourself at risk.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Imagine you went on a
well,
cruise.
thanks, John.
Imagine you went on a cruise
Yeah.
and you got stuck on
I
the
got
water.
stuck. Well, okay, you guys just destroyed my.
Just completely destroyed it. That's
But
what
no,
we did.
the concept makes sense. It's true. Like traveling, January, that would have been really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been. What would you have done had you been able to, travel and stuff? Where would you have gone or something?
Oh, so I would have gone to like a quick trip to the Caribbean or something. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's
all
what
right,
we
that
were
makes
actually
sense.
planning it, but we said we were gonna do it in like June, July, but that all, yeah,
Yeah, no, that wasn't gonna happen.
yeah,
That was not gonna
So
happen.
sad.
yeah. It got completely destroyed, right? But it's all right. At least we were all safe, right? That's the most important thing. And in terms of what I would have actually done less of is, because I know I'm learning more about myself, personality type and stuff. And whenever I'm fearful that I'm not gonna succeed at something, I start like getting stressful and worried. So I know I was doing that a lot at the start of 2020. So I would have done that a lot less of that, because to be honest, there was so many opportunities to get stressed out and worried at the end of the year. So
That's very true.
why do it at the start? That's how I see it, you know.
Yeah, 2020 definitely left with a bang.
Yeah.
like, a big bang.
It's a memorable year.
It's a memorable year for sure, man.
So what
It's
about you?
definitely a memorable year.
Yeah. So what about you guys?
I would have, because I'm a foodie, I would have gone to more restaurants in the beginning
a
of
good
the
one.
year because when they locked it down, you're just like, man, I don't want to, one, go out and expose myself, and two, they were locked down, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would have done more restaurants. And what I would have done differently, I think, like, just not kind of get caught up in the kind of paranoia with COVID in the beginning. Like, you know, you'd see everyone with their gloves on, like, you know, and then
Buying
it came
out
to
toilet paper like
buying out
crazy.
you didn't buy out toilet
Yeah.
paper, but like,
No, but
just getting caught up in
Why'd
that
you guys do
frenzy.
that? Why?
It's not like it's a diarrhea type
Yeah.
of disease, but anyways, yeah, I wouldn't have like got caught
Caught
up
up.
or as scared because, yeah, I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. No, it's true. A lot of people were like really caught up in it and
Yeah.
went overboard.
They really were.
Terry, what about you? And then we're gonna go to Troy.
For me, I would have ran more this year.
Terry, man, this is a new year. You don't have to make every answer
I'm
about
just
running.
joking. I'm just joking.
Okay.
I'm just
I was like,
joking.
Terry, what are you running from? We need to unpack this. What are you
Yeah.
really
No,
running
no,
from?
no.
Terry?
Let's go.
That's a deeper meaning, man.
No, for me, I definitely think one thing that I would have done more of, it just because I really miss the social aspect of everything. Like,
yeah.
That's one of the things that's affected me. So just knowing what I know now, I would have definitely tried to go out to more, not even like, you know, hanging out with friends and stuff like that. That's okay. But like just being able to like go to the movies and
That's
stuff
so
like that.
true.
Yeah.
That's something I generally miss. So knowing what I know now, I definitely would have taken the opportunity to just go to more social events, go to movies, go to like, you know, anything that I possibly could have. So that's something that I would have taken advantage of. That's where I stand at this point.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. What about you, Troy? Give us.
All right, so mine are very quick. My more would be go to the movie theaters more because
I
that's
knew it.
one thing I miss the most out
Yeah.
of all of this is just being able to go to the
Your
theaters.
Tuesday movie days.
Tuesday, and like there's a theater up here that has
Yeah,
like,
Tuesdays are the best days.
well, no,
Sometimes-
the theater up here.
Sometimes on Tuesdays, you know how I like going out with like people. Sometimes I used to go by myself because I know it's half price.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy any popcorn or anything like that, so it's like cheap and everything, which was ideal, right?
Yeah, like I don't know, because up here we have a theater that in the mornings with like the matinee shows, they're always cheaper. So
Okay.
every single day is Tuesday.
Oh, it's not just Tuesday.
It's
Oh,
not
okay.
just Tuesday. Every single day is
okay, that's
Tuesday,
cool.
right? And then
That's
they
cool.
had these like these hot dog things and like they were just. It was incredible. I would go on my little self dates and I would just go to the movie theaters
yourself,
and
love
treat myself
yourself.
and just watch these movies and stuff. Go home, break it down, understand like how they like came up with these characters, what
Yeah.
they did, and all that. Like it was just.
Beautiful.
I miss it so much. I miss it so much. And then
Yeah.
what I would have done less would be like this one's just more internal. Just like stop doing all the self doubt and like
Okay.
stop doubting my abilities and stuff because this year, like 2020, it really showed me what I was made of. Like
you-
I can really
capable
yeah
of.
what I'm capable of because like I didn't. If you told me in 2018. In a couple of years, you're gonna
Yeah.
be editing a podcast every single week, like,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be getting really good at it. Like, I would be like, you're crazy, no way. But, yeah, I would definitely do the stop practicing that
Self-doubt, yeah. So those are really good answers, and it's really important. Like at the start of the year, not only to just do resolutions, like I want to blah blah. But look back, reflect, and what can you take from it? So we're gonna put that challenge to you guys. Why don't you tell us what are some of your highlights and lowlights from 2020, and also what would you change? What would you do differently? And you can also even post some of your resolutions for this year. This year we're going to do a lot of interesting things to get you involved on Instagram, on YouTube, and on all the different social media platforms. So look out for it. But we're encouraging you at the bottom of this video or on our Instagram to leave a comment answering those questions. Tell us your highlights from 2020.
And your lowlights.
Yeah, and your lowlights.
Without involving the word COVID.
Because we're gonna do that enough next time.
Yeah,
so.
we will.
Yeah, COVID by itself deserves a whole show.
Yeah, it really does.
So until next time, see you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.